Jared, what's in that coffee mug? Is that Absolute and Kahlua?
Actually, no, but that's funny. That you're
I'm spot on for the holidays
spot on
in this episode.
Yeah, that's actually something we're going to talk about today.
By the way, why didn't you get me some coffee?
Because you never want it.
Oh my gosh, yes I do.
You never wanted it like after 8
I don't.
o'clock.
Well, I don't like it in metal. That's the one thing I don't like. I don't like it in a Yeti.
Yeah, some people don't like that.
It changes the taste of coffee.
Yeah.
Do you not agree?
I don't mind it because I like to have it with me.
Yes, but you can have a coffee
And so
mug.
during our podcast episodes, I'm going to be drinking coffee sometimes. So,
but out of a metal container.
yeah, I know. No, it does change. It doesn't taste the same when it's in like a ceramic coffee
No,
cup.
it tastes way better.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
Well, they need to invent a metal, like an outside that you could drop, like a metal coffee mug container, but it has like ceramic on the inside.
I'm sure they have that.
Or glass.
I am sure that they have
Probably.
that. If not, we'll make it part of our merch. Which, speaking of, yesterday we had everyone on social vote on our merch vibes coming up for the holidays and also for our next meetup, which we're excited about. And it was interesting. So I was thinking that crew necks versus hoodies, crew necks were going to win. And pretty much by a landslide, I think hoodies ended up crushing crew necks.
We love hoodies.
I love a hoodie.
You and I love a hoodie.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love a good hoodie.
It's
I mean, crew necks are cool. I'm wearing crew neck now, actually.
I'm in a hoodie. So clearly you were team crew neck yesterday.
Yeah, I feel like it's like a different look. You know what I mean? It's like whatever you're going for. But I prefer hoodies because I think they're more interesting.
They're they're not necessarily, I don't think they're more interesting, but I think that they give like a cozy street vibe.
Yes.
Like you have a little bit of an edge when you wear a hoodie.
Yeah, it's like, it's more versatile.
Yeah, it is.
But so I think we should we've been wanting to do a hoodie for merch.
We're definitely doing a hoodie.
Yeah, but we haven't done it yet. So
well, clearly the people spoke and they want a hoodie.
I know, that'll be cool.
So speaking of merch,
yes,
we're going to be diving into some fun little topics today. But this week's episode really is all about what IKONICFOX looks for in terms of when we sign talent. And there are 3 key things that we're always looking for when it comes to who we're signing.
Yeah, we get this question all the time.
Yes.
And I mean, it makes sense. But we're going to talk about what we specifically look for here at IKONICFOX.
Yes, but before we dive into it, merch was just making me think about Sabrina Carpenter, who was this summer's It Girl. And she was known for her iconic merch that she dropped throughout.
Yeah, you were saying that.
Yeah, it's really interesting. She had everything from this very risque soccer jersey to a hoodie, which I was like, of course, she dropped a hoodie, so we're going to have to drop a hoodie.
That was
obviously.
Perfect timing.
And even cute little short and sweet socks because her tour was called the Short and Sweet Tour.
Yeah.
Which makes sense because she's short, which, by the way, I love that. Finally, a short girl gets her break.
We were laughing about that. That was funny. When we looked her up, I think it was like what was the music video with, what's her name? Ortega, I think is her last
Jenna
name.
Ortega.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we were watching that. I can't remember which song that was. It's on the tip of my tongue. I cannot remember. But what was funny, we were like, you were like, wait, she looks shorter. Let me look her up. And I think they say she's like 4'11".
Yeah, or 5 feet.
Some say 5 feet or 4'11".
Yes, and I was like, oh my gosh, a short girl gets her break because I'm 5 feet and a quarter of an inch. You can't forget about the quarter of an inch.
That's funny.
So I was like, oh my gosh, short girls are ruling this summer.
And then we saw Sabrina Carpenter on SNL recently too.
Yeah.
And like, it was just cool to see her up there. Yeah. And we were like, oh my gosh, that's what you would look like if you were on stage.
I loved it. But yeah, what's cool about her is she's tied in some really interesting brand partners as part of her tour.
Her branding's been awesome.
It's so good.
I feel like she just kind of didn't come out of nowhere, but like she
headlined for Taylor Swift, which was a huge thing on the Eras tour.
And then from there, it was just like she just blew up from there. And I think this tour, like her branding's been on point. And what was interesting is she did a really cool partnership with
Kahlua and Absolute Vodka.
Yes.
Yeah, they were actually
that kit, that espresso kit.
Yeah. So they were her tour sponsors and they ended up teaming up with her on her Short and Sweet tour, doing the Short and Sweet holiday cocktail kit.
Smart branding.
Yeah, very
I mean, that was perfect. Okay, but the thing is, I want to know, because we were looking at the kit and we haven't seen it in person, but what was cool is they have that like her signature like Kiss logo.
Imprint that you can imprint.
But that's my question is I want to watch how they do that. Like, what is that? Is it like a powder or something?
I don't know. It's almost like you stamp it into the drink itself.
I know, but this drink, it's like foam on top.
Well, what would you think that?
I think it's some kind of powder or something. Like,
yeah, well, it has to be edible.
Put this thing over. Yeah, well, yeah. I want to see how they're. Unless somebody knows, comment. How do you put that Kiss thing on the?
Well, we have to get the kit. We have to get the kit for this holiday season.
Yeah, I know. Okay, so let's talk about what we look for in a creator when we're considering signing them.
The IKONICFOX way is scalability, creativity, personality.
You gotta have those. You gotta be A+ in all three to even make it to the first interview
conversation.
No, it's just I think those are things we consider from the beginning because it's like creators reach out to us or they get referred to us or we reach out to them and it's like these are things that we want to look at from the start to even decide if it's like worth our time.
And by the way, this is stuff that we're looking for, but as a creator, in my opinion, I would say if I were going to be a creator today, these are things that you got to think about as a content creator because brands and agencies are looking at this, at least the tier that we work at, which is the top tier in the industry. The brands are looking for these factors. It's almost like that it factor of being a content creator.
Which is why brands and agencies like working with us because we are basically vetting creators and we're selecting the top creators who kind of fit our style.
Yes.
And like what we're looking for. So that's and which is honestly another reason why, even aside from creators joining management, why brands and agencies should be working with top management teams like us is because we've already done the vetting. We've already found
we do all the hard work.
We do the hard work, and we're managing a lot of that before they even like we're basically casting before the brands and agencies even need to cast.
Which is true. I mean, that's why these brands and agencies they're coming to us saying, "Hey, we have XYZ campaigns," or they won't tell us necessarily even the campaigns that they're planning for, but they'll just have conversations with us.
Yeah.
They'll keep us top of mind for when they are planning the next campaign. And that's what we're doing is we're really building those relationships, but based around those key three factors that we are known for, which is that kind of top 1% in the industry.
Yeah.
So if you want to be part of that, call us.
So what do we mean? Well, let's break it down. Yeah. What do we mean by scalability?
Scalability is really thinking beyond just being an influencer. So being an influencer and having influence and being a content creator is just kind of the baseline. That is the foundation. But we're looking for people, I mean, we are always talking about this. We're looking for people who are not just doing what everyone else is doing. We're looking for people who can build a real brand in the space themselves that goes beyond just them being like having cool content.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people with cool content, but they don't necessarily have that brand to themselves. So we're looking, you don't necessarily need to have it today. A creator doesn't have to have that today, but they need to be someone that we can also help guide into that because we love the branding piece of this and like really branding themselves as a content creator.
Yeah, and it's even like, I feel like the even like the interests of the creator makes a difference.
Yes.
And even like their goals, their passions, like what they're interested in is also part of that like scalability / like what's their brand potential?
Yes.
Like what else could they turn into or like how could they grow as a creator? That's like what we consider. And obviously we're not here. We don't force our creators to do something they don't want to do. No, nobody should. But at the same time, there are some times when we can see, oh, a creator has this potential. Like maybe they're not thinking about it now, but we could totally see them writing a book or releasing this product line or doing this cool tour or whatever it is.
This cool collaboration capsule collection.
Yes.
Anything like that that's, again, thinking beyond them as an influencer, meaning their next brand deal, their next, post on Instagram, like just thinking in the moment, which is good. Like it's good to have a daily, weekly strategy to that, but you got to think bigger.
And we're good at nurturing that. Like we're good at like pulling that out from the creator and figuring that out because I do think other management teams that we've seen or other creators, they get kind of sold on, or the management teams will sell them on like, oh, we have a licensing department, we have like a book department, we have a merch department. And then the problem is sort of like select whatever you want and you can do whatever, you can do any of these things. And it's kind of like, well, is that the right direction though for that creator? Like, does that make sense for them long term?
Exactly.
Will that be a good fit for their brand as they grow? And that's what we consider as part of the scalability part.
Yeah, I'm like, set them up for success.
Yes.
Because I'm like, just to be like, here's your wine label. I'm like, okay, does that make any sense for their brand and business? How high quality is the wine? What price point's it
like
at?
the Sabrina Carpenter collab with Kahlua and Absolute. That's a great
natural fit.
Yes, versus just slapping her name on something, just a random alcohol brand and being like, this is part of my sponsorship for the tour. Like that wouldn't necessarily make sense.
No, and they tied in the kiss, the logo, everything.
Yeah.
My thing is, at the end of the day, you have to make sure that you're not just a cog in the wheel. You don't want to just be a transaction for your management.
Or a short-term view on things.
Exactly.
So creativity, that's another thing that we consider when we're looking at potentially signing someone.
Yeah, and it's, again, not thinking of it so black and white, like, oh, they have really pretty content. I think a lot of times people think when we say creativity, it just means like you have to do the most wild out there, most iconic content. We do love that.
Oh yeah.
We love that style.
Yeah. But like, yeah, I mean, it can also be too broad. I understand like saying creativity is very broad. Like, oh, are you a creative person? Like every creator could say I'm creative.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, what's like deeper? What's the deeper level of like what we think about?
When we're thinking about this, we're thinking about people who can think outside of the box. Think outside of the box with the niche or niches that they fall into. What sets them apart as a creator? The style of their content, but also how it's being positioned, even how they're integrating brands organically into that content, what their messaging is behind that. That all goes into your creativity.
Yeah.
And yeah, we do also take a look to see how our brands being integrated into that already naturally, because it is tough to say, oh, I want management, but you haven't been integrating brands organically already into your content or in a way that brands could be organically integrated into that content.
It's like kind of like what their general like style is. You know, it's like, it's hard to put I think creativity is, you know, it's almost like you can't just learn that.
No.
And not necessarily creativity from like, oh, I'm a creative person, because creators, like even creators that we represent, they kind of fall on different styles of creativity.
Yes.
Whether it's just the way that they shoot, or like their very high level production quality, or it's like a different style where it's just the way that they
edit
and tell stories and edit. That's like a big part of it too. And like it is hard to just say, well, this is what we mean by creativity, but that is part of it. It almost falls under too like passion. Like, can you just see that passion in them where they enjoy doing what they're doing, and they're not just doing it for what we see this more is people are like, I'm going to quit my job and become a creator. I'm going to monetize my social platforms. I'm going to do these. I bought this program that tells me these 3 steps to monetize and become a creator. And that's I think a slippery slope, because a lot of people feel like they can just make a lot of money and like this is easy as long as you just shoot this content. And the problem is that that's like a short-term view. Like that's not gonna, I don't think those people end up lasting very long in the industry.
Because you're not passionate about it.
You're not passionate about it.
You're not thinking outside the box. You're not, it is short-lived, because you're chasing the money in that case. That creator is chasing the money. If you chase the money will not come. You have to have the depth to your content, because I'm like, at the end of the day, people want to have people want to follow creators and influencers that they really feel inspired or entertained by on a daily basis. And it's like, why are they taking 5 minutes out of their day to engage with you as a creator if you're just creating aesthetic content but with no depth to it, or you're just creating off the cuff content but with no meaning to it? So it has to have that creativity, passion, and that angle that really is sticky for your community to want to engage with. I would say the last thing is, before we jump into personality, is really making sure that if you have been working on brand partnerships, that they naturally integrate in a creative, cool way to your content. Like it should feel natural. And I think this is where there's some camp of creators who can feel a little bit awkward about how they're integrating, which is natural at first. But if you've been around the block a time or two. It's really time to up level and figure out how you can integrate your brand partners creatively into your content.
Yeah, it takes experience.
Exactly. And it's something that we look for in the creators that we're signing, whether they're an experienced creator or they're just starting to come up on the scene. And we'll give that guidance to them too, if we can kind of see that spark is there. But ultimately, make sure that as a creator, you're integrating that naturally into your content so that you can monetize more, but in a way that feels organic.
Yeah.
Which is weird to talk about organic and ads.
It is.
But
yes.
it should go hand in hand.
Right, yeah.
Okay, so last but certainly not least is personality.
Yeah, this is personality.
We talk about this a lot.
And again, this is one that, it's not something that you can just train for, but at the same time, it's also something to keep in mind because we see people who are like, oh, if they could just pull out this part of them sometimes. We don't see this enough. Like, if you could do this more, this would be amazing. And obviously, we want creators to be themselves, right?
Yes.
On camera, whenever they're shooting content. But again, sometimes it takes some experience, and like over time, they can change, and like their personality almost comes out more as time goes on. And they get more comfortable shooting brand deals and things like that, and being a creator. But it's almost like at first, it's like that X factor, To
me, I think personality, it can be, again, similar to creativity. Personality does not mean this black and white thing where it's like, wow, I'm out there in
like
your
you're over the
face.
top.
Yeah.
Just like, yes.
Yeah, but you gotta be you versus the version that you think Instagram or TikTok or YouTube want you to be.
Well, and I think some of that comes down to, are you doing this for the right reasons? Are you doing this because you're interested and passionate about being a creator and the creator economy and the creator space?
Right.
Because the people who aren't, their personality doesn't match what they're trying to do, if that makes sense. Like, they're almost a different person when they're on camera and like they turn it on. And I think people can eventually see through that. And so we want real people. We want a real personality, and we want to see that because brands love working with creators that are real.
Totally.
And obviously the word is used a lot, but authentic and just genuine people and believable.
Believability is a big factor of what we talk about. Believability it goes hand in hand with authenticity and being a real person, but personality, it has to come through. You have to be yourself. You have to find a way to bring your personality out so that you can stand out in today's creator economy.
Yeah.
So that you're not just getting lumped in with the rest of the creators. And one thing that we're looking at too is, does your personality seem like what we're seeing online when we're talking to on that initial phone call?
Yes. That's a big part of it.
Yeah, because we've had certain calls where we're like, whoa, this is not at all what I was expecting. Maybe it's cooler, or maybe it is someone who's very standoffish. And of course, the first call can be a little bit, it's a little daunting at first. Someone can be nervous, but we are looking to see, is this person real from social media to actually talking in person? Because that really does make a big difference.
That's a big part of it too. It's like, how are you in real life? Like, if you go to an event or a brand event, are you completely different than what the brand saw on your feed? We see that a lot.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's exactly, it nails it. And again, it comes down to, I think, just be yourself.
Yeah.
Be yourself. Don't give a fuck what other people think.
Yeah.
Just be yourself. So, okay, before we jump, I want to talk about our weekly icon.
Yeah,
this
weekly
week.
icon.
This is fun.
Yeah, we chatted a little bit about this beforehand. There's always good stuff happening with tons of people that we're working with and brands and agencies.
So many things.
But this one was cool just because it just happened, right?
It's literally happening now. So Chef Reilly, he's our amazing private chef from Hamptons to Scottsdale. And he is always super inspiring to us because he has a full-time job as a private chef, but he's also a full-time content creator.
Yeah, he's amazing.
Yeah, he's awesome. And he just teamed up with Samsung. So basically, it's two people who are non-chefs with two people who are chefs.
And the cool thing to know too about Reilly is that he's done true professional cooking competitions.
And won.
Yeah, he's got some like medals under his belt.
Yeah.
I think there was like the World Culinary Cook-Off or something in like, I don't even know where it was, like in South America, I think last year.
Yeah.
A year or two ago, whenever. But
he's incredible.
Yeah, but what's cool is like, this was really awesome to see him coming into, it's almost like a combination of like doing a real cooking competition and a production for a brand. So it's like bringing those two together can be tough. especially when you're probably used to like a cooking competition where it's like all on your terms and like you have your station, like you're doing what you got to do because it's planned out. So kudos to Reilly for making that happen and kind of bringing both worlds together.
Yeah, and this happened in such a short period of time too, so there wasn't a ton of time for him. I mean, he works full time as a private chef and as a content creator, and he has plenty of deadlines coming up in the holiday season, so he was kind of thrust into this. And the competition's kicking off on social this week. They've already announced it as of last week. But it looked like it turned out so good.
Oh my gosh.
What we've seen so
we
far.
saw like a little teaser trailer.
Yeah. And
it's really good.
Yes. I've had a chance to see a few other clips and I'm like, first of all, we're so proud of him because he has brought his personality out. And that's also what sets him apart from just being any other amazing private chef or personal chef. He is truly he's brought his personality front and center, and he's truly being himself. And that's what we saw in this cooking competition. So we're excited to see. Yes. I'm sure Chef Reilly will be winning this competition.
Probably. I wouldn't see why not.
Exactly. But we're
and kudos to the Samsung production team too.
So
from what we've seen so far, it was really cool. And like, I think bringing it all together with like this creative spin on, promoting a tech product within the food world is really awesome.
Well, and again, it's these interesting angles to what brands are doing. Brands who are thinking outside of the box, doing something different themselves to set themselves apart from just any other, like, here's another ad for a phone on a TV commercial.
It's like that juxtapositioning that we've seen before with brands that will collab and they're like completely different in like completely different spaces, but it works. It's like really fun. And I think you're seeing more of that.
I was going to say, I got to go because I need a cup of coffee.
Yeah, you do.
Jared didn't get
I'll get you one next time. You know what? Oh, we were talking about this. We're going to get, should we share it? We're going to get branded coffee mugs.
But it better not be in metal.
No, it's going to be like a cool coffee mug.
Okay.
So we're going to get those on the show. We're going to start using those. And then you can have one.
That's so nice of you, Jared.
Yeah.
Thank you for being so generous.
Well, this is a cool episode.
Wait, what if we had our own coffee? Iconic coffee.
Oh my gosh. Wait. Do we put that on the channel?
Yeah, we do.
On the episode?
Yeah, you guys are going to hear it here first.
Oh my gosh. Okay, let's do it.
Yeah.
Iconic coffee. We're going to have 3 different roasts.
Ooh, 3.
Light, medium, and dark.
I like that.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
So it'll go with...
Call us.
Actually, that would be a fun little holiday kit.
Wouldn't it?
That's our kit.
Yeah.
It's like the Sabrina Carpenter espresso kit. Espresso martini kit.
Better.
We're going to do a coffee mug.
But better.
With a thing of coffee in it. But better. No, but that'll be cool. We're going to do coffee mugs.
And a little stamp of the K. The backwards K in it.
Would love that.
All right, let's wrap this up because I need to go get coffee. But today's episode, super fun. Thank you for hanging out with me yet again.
It's fun. And this was a newer spot, right? I think we're gonna do this more often here.
Yeah, I like the vibe.
It's a little more chill.
Yeah.
We like the location. It's like our little speakeasy vibe here.
Speakeasy / coffee bar room.
Our coffee bar.
Coffee is the theme of this episode.
So just to wrap it up, the 3 things we look for when considering signing talent are
scalability, creativity,
and personality. So those are 3 things to think about for anyone who's considering management, how we think about things. And we hope this was super valuable to you guys. And we really enjoy doing these episodes together. They're really fun. And
hanging out.
Chatting about talent management and the creator economy.
Yeah, so if you guys had any questions on this episode, please be sure to shoot us a DM at IKONICFOX or shoot us an email, hello@IKONICFOX, and we will see you in the next one.
We'll see you guys.